excited to welcome all of you to our first week of this amazing new super series called Suit Up. We'll be learning about this super amazing armor that God has already prepared for us. But first, let's learn a new song. Are you ready? Let's count down together. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Put on the full armor of God, stand strong against the evil one. Put on the full armor of God, the full armor of God. First things first, got the belt of truth. Ayo, ayo. Put on my boots, gotta tell the good news. Ayo, ayo. The armor of God and the shield of faith. Got my sword and my helmet, now it's time to pray. Ayo, ayo. I put on the full armor of God, stand strong against the evil one. I put on the full armor of God, the full armor of God. First things first, you got the belt of truth. Ayo, ayo. Put on my boots, I gotta tell the good news. The armor of God and the shield of faith. Ayo, ayo. Got my sword and my helmet, now it's time to pray. Ayo, ayo. Put on the full armor of God, stand strong against the evil one. Put on the full armor of God, the full armor of God. Put on the full armor of God, stand strong against the evil one. Put on the full armor of God, the full armor of God. Now in faith we can stand against every evil plan. Now it's time to be strong. He has won. Put on the full armor of God, stand strong against the evil one. Put on the full armor of God, the full armor of God. Put on the full armor of God, stand strong against the evil one. Put on the full armor of God, the full armor of God.
The armor of God isn't a real super suit like you might see a superhero wearing. It's an invisible suit that God gives us to have the power to stand up against anything that comes our way. There's a story in the Bible of a young boy named David. He relied on God's power to stand up to a giant who was fighting God's people, the Israelites. Day after day, the 9-foot giant Goliath would go out in front of the Israelite army and shout for someone to fight him. The Israelites would run away because they were so afraid. David went to the king and offered to fight Goliath. So the king gave David his full armor, including his helmet and sword. David tried to walk around in the armor, but he wasn't used to it, so he took it off. Instead, David took a sling and some stones from the river and went out to meet Goliath. David said to Goliath, "You are coming to fight against me with a sword, a spear, and a javelin. But I'm coming against you in the name of the Lord who rules over all. He is the God of the armies of Israel. He's the one you have dared to fight against." Then he pulled out a stone and slung it at Goliath, hitting him in the head. Goliath fell to the ground and died. David had victory over his enemy because instead of using helmets, shields, or swords, he relied on God's power. We can all have the power to fight against anything that comes our way when we suit up with all the pieces of God's armor: the belt of truth, the armor of godliness, the good news boots, shield of faith, helmet of salvation, and the sword of the Spirit. With each piece, we have more strength than any hero imaginable. As you prepare to take a stand against acrophobia, suiting up with God's armor will be all you need.
Boys and girls, can you imagine being in front of a giant? I can imagine how David was feeling about it. Maybe at the beginning, he would have loved to have an armor to protect himself against Goliath. But suddenly, he was filled with God's power, and he found out he already had everything he needed. I can't wait to learn with you superheroes the armor God has for all of us. So it's time to suit up with all of God's armor so that we will have the power to stand against the enemy's lies and tricks. Well, superheroes, there is something I need you to save in your super minds and in your super hearts. Are you ready? Can you guys repeat this after me? Suit up with God's armor. Great job. Now let's find out together what our new memory verse is. You guys can say it with me and also learn the motions along with me. So start by crossing your arms on your chest and saying, put on all of God's armor. Then make big muscles. Then you can remain strong against the devil's evil plans. 2 thumbs down. Ephesians 6:11. Awesome. Now let's try it again. Put on all of God's armor. Then you can remain strong against the devil's evil plans. Ephesians 6:11. Great job. I'm so proud of you. See you next week, superheroes.